danger zone. I have no idea if that's gonna stay in.
That needs to stay in, or it needs to go up front as the clip, the lead in.
I think that, and I think honestly, that's the only thing we're allowed to, before we get like
That's
hit with
yeah,
copyright.
that's the amount.
Riley comes in. Angel City on the board.
Corner kick presented by Cedar Sinai.
Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's Loho! It's a dream return!
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with the ever knowledgeable and amazing Angela Morales.
I couldn't hold that one in. I don't know. Thank you for that exquisite compliment.
It's way more knowledgeable than I am, so it definitely holds true in this context.
Oh man. Well, we are back with a little recap, a big pre-cap. On the last episode of Angel City FC, we played the Chicago Red Stars in Chicago at SeatGeek Stadium. It was Sarah Gordon's first time back in Chicago since she was traded to Angel City, since she didn't play last season. We came out of that with 1 point. We are still undeTWEEDed.
Still undeTWEEDed, baby.
Like, obviously, I would have loved a win because we would have been in 6th place solidly. But I'll take the point and stay in contention. The last 30 minutes of that game were insane. So the day of this game, Mario and his wife and me and my girlfriend and my mom all went to go see a musical together, or a play together in downtown LA. It was fantastic. We had a great time. Eva had to run because, she had a rehearsal to prepare for, like a big thing. Mario and his wife went and met Neil Patrick Harris.
Yep.
And I
mean,
it was a very eventful day.
it was actually very nice because like we were walking around and Jen was like, "Hey, do you just want to go check out that door we saw last time?" Because we honestly didn't know where the stage door was. We went over and there was a line, and we're like, "If there's a line, let's stand in the line." And then we got to beat Neil Patrick Harris. So there you go.
Yeah. Fantastic. But like the play was so good. We had such a good time. We all kind of like go our separate ways. My mom and I were heading to hopefully get to Rock and Brews in El Segundo, where Angel City was hosting a watch party, because I had friends there. We were going to like podcast stuff if we could. Like, it was one of those, like, let's get there. We get in the car. Like, Eva calls me to tell me that Ali Riley had just scored, but they were reviewing it in VAR. I text Mario. Like, there's like crazy text messages and phone calls going back and forth across downtown LA. And then we get into halftime. We're up 1-0. And then the second half started. They equalize. They equalize in the 69th minute after one sub comes in. And on the iHeartRadio broadcast, they're literally saying like, "Oh yeah, when these specific players come in, like it's always like a jumpstart for the team. They're the people who come in the second half and score." Not like 10 seconds after the substitutions were made, the goal was scored. And then we immediately go up again, like 2 minutes later, with a Junendo goal. By this time, we are like on the outskirts of El Segundo, and I'm like, "Mom, drive faster!" Like, we're like in the car. I'm freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, we're hitting every freaking red light you can think of." We get to Rock and Brews. We got great parking somehow, some way. But then we get there and we sit down, find our friends, sit down, and immediately they equalized again. But hey, it wasn't a loss. We came out of there with points, and that's what mattered.
Yeah. Mine was somewhat similar, where like you said, but you texted me about Riley, and I was like, all right. And then we were driving to Pasadena, and then it went to it was during halftime, couldn't really listen to it, or something happened to my phone and I just couldn't listen. And then we stopped by actually to go get some like boba, and then by the time I got back into my car, first thing that comes on when I turn on the car and the phone connects again was Endo's score. And I was
Oh
like, yes.
man.
And so like as we pull out of the little parking structure, I pull over to the side of the road. One, because we have to finish our boba before we get home, or else the kids are gonna see, and then they're gonna be like, "What the hell? Where's mine?" But also because we wanted to listen to the rest of the match, and then a few minutes later they equalize it, and I was like, "Oh," sitting there just like, why can't I watch this on my phone? And it's basically because I didn't have CBS Sports. But yeah,
Yeah. I don't think anybody likes it when games are on CBS Sports.
no,
Like,
no.
honestly, no one. But we came out of Chicago with a point. That's what matters. We're still in playoff contention. We're still in the running.
Still in the running.
Where
So
are we in the standings? Like, give me the deets.
yeah, so still undeTWEEDed in 11 now, which is
Insane.
an insane stat to have. We're currently still in 8th place. We're technically tied for 7th, but because of goal differential, we're in the 8th spot. And guess who we're tied with? Orlando, who is the next team we're going to be playing. So
Bum, bum, bum.
yeah. So this matchup is a full-on 6-pointer. Like make or break, basically. Both teams, Orlando and ourselves, are 1 point out of playoff position, which would be 6th place. So I went back to my current favorite. I'm calling it my digital fidget spinner, because it's basically a website with just pure buttons. Like you just push a bunch of buttons and let numbers kind of move up and down and let your mind go wild. Now, I did pull off a really crazy like wild version where we got like Angel City ended up in 1st place for the entire league. Of course, that's not going to happen with the two.
You never know. Anything could happen.
Okay.
It's not likely.
It wasn't likely then. It's way more not likely now. But you know what? There's too many permutations for it to actually make sense at this point anyways.
Right.
Again, this was created by our favorite statistician infographic person, Allison Gale. So check her out on Twitter, agale137. Amazing just info when it comes to women's sports, and then just visualizing it. But what I do want to say, even though there's so many permutations and there's so many ways things can go, the most straightforward way, but looking at the whole thing, we are still in charge of our own destiny. And that is what's important. Last year, we were not in charge of it. So we were doing this almost fraught playoff run last year, where we were begging and scratching and clawing for every point to try to make it in, but it didn't matter what we did, because ultimately it depended on what other teams did.
Right.
This time,
right.
This time we are 100% in charge of our destiny at this point. So what I ended up doing was going down the list, and there were no ties. I didn't put any ties throughout the rest of the last 3 match weeks. I automatically made the higher seeded team win, right? Like we're just saying like, hey, they're the better team in the table. They're the ones that have a better chance of winning. So I did that across the board. So Portland won all their matches, except for ours. San Diego won all their matches. All the teams that were above us or just above on whoever they were playing got their point. Okay, probably went too long on that, but there you go. With all of that being said, if we remain undeTWEEDed for the rest of the season for these last 3 matches, we are in. At the most, we can only draw 1 more time. But you know what? The best solution to that is just win all 3. I mean, you can't really argue with that.
No, you can't. Like, let's just win out.
Yes.
I mean, we said it before. Like, we win out. We have the best chances of anything.
Yes, we've got the momentum. We have the drive, so it'll just make things amazing. So yes, we will solidly land in like 4th or 5th place as long as we remain undeTWEEDed and have only one draw. 4th place will actually let us host a match in the playoff rounds, which would be crazy exciting. The way the playoffs works for the NWSL since a couple years ago when they expanded it to 6 positions, the top 6 versus just the top 4, is 1st and 2nd place will get a bye. So they don't play the first round. 3rd plays 6th, 4th plays 5th, and 3rd and 4th get to play at home first. And then after that first round, you go into the bracket where you are now in the semifinals and then the final. So to kind of get granular with all of this, 3 matches left. We've got 2 home games and 1 away. Out of those, if we win all 3, we're in. We can end up with is 4th. We can most likely get 5th if we win all 3. The rest of these really count on us only drawing one of these, right? I said we have to go into undeTWEEDed, but undeTWEEDed means only one more draw. If we draw one of them, we end up in 5th. Now, this is really pushing it, and I do not recommend. So, Becky, if you're listening, do not recommend this last version. But if we lose 1 and win 2, so if we win, say, both home games and we lose the one on the road, there is a possibility that we squeak in 6th place.
My
I
God,
don't
it's
recommend
so
it because, like I said, I only did so many permutations of this.
There's still a margin of error.
I cannot guarantee this. I am going off a digital fidget spinner, so take that for what it's worth. But
yeah, so in the words of my 227 neighbor and now very good friend Richie, I feel the need for tweed. So let's go. Let's effing go.
I need to put the little sound clip of Highway to the Danger Zone. Okay, so with all of that, we're heading to our next match at home, BMO Stadium. It got moved because both teams want to put their best foot forward since we're both in this race to the playoff chaos. And both of us have way more, for at least for us, way more international players than I thought we were going to have on leave. So
because all of the international windows right now are Olympic qualifying or the qualifiers to qualify. Like there's so many like Gold Cup, CONCACAF, like all the things happening right now. So every national team is being called up. It's not just like a small amount.
Yeah. So
everybody.
We've got a good handful. Like Alyssa's gone, Emsley's gone, MA is gone.
I know,
which was a huge win. Shout out to MA for getting her first cap and her call up. June is gone. Lee, I think, is gone. So all of that is to
Scarlett.
say, yeah, Scarlett, and she scored. So all of that is to say, both Angel City and Orlando said, "Hey, both our teams are decimated. Let's give this a week, get all our players back home, or at least back to our teams, and let's put our best foot forward for this run." So we are playing Orlando at BMO. Hit me with what we need to know.
Okay, so Mario kind of alluded to this earlier, but this might be one of the biggest games of the season because this is that quintessential textbook example of a 6-point game. Like, we win, we jump spots, we get the 3 points, but we also get ahead, like 3 points ahead of Orlando. And it gets us closer to playoff contention, depending on how the other games go over the weekend. Like, it could get us very, very much into the playoff mix. Like, we're right on the cusp. Like, yeah, we're in 8th place, tied for 7th, whatever. But there's like a 1 point difference. There's no room for error right now. And there's no room for us to think that just walking away with a draw is fine. And I mean, the team knows that. We all know that. We got to win this one to stay in the playoff picture. That's really like the talking point. Is like, yeah, we need to score to make up the differential, but we need to score and prevent the other team from scoring. Eva mentioned a quote from a previous national team, U.S. national team's player in the retrospective we did, where it's like, yeah, if we score, we can win, but if we prevent the other team from scoring, we can't lose. And that's the mentality that Angel City needs right now, because I think everybody, even like the team itself, has been like, we should have won in Chicago. We shouldn't have given up those late goals. So I have a feeling they're going to come in and lock down BMO. Like, I am not going to be surprised if we come out there looking terrifying, which is, I love it.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, our defense going to be on point for sure.
there's
It's just a matter of the offense.
another one of these. I have no idea where I heard it from, but there's a quote out there somewhere that I should be able to attribute to someone that, attackers score goals, but defenders win games, because it's the whole point.
And you wonder why I love defense so much. Like, this is why. The last 3 games are going to be the example of why I'm like over here crying over defenders constantly. Like, oh my God, they're so great. But like, all in all, if I'm being very real, I love this team so much. We can sit here, we can talk stats, we can talk standings, what needs to happen, who to look out for, all of that. But like, we all know, just show up on Monday, scream your heart out, like, cheer this team on with your whole heart. They're going to need it. We've got to carry them through this game. And then who else do we play? Houston? In Houston, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like, we have to cheer loud enough on Monday to carry them all the way to Texas and back, because there's no reason why we shouldn't beat Houston. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
But like we said, undeTWEEDed, all 3. Let's go.
Yeah, like, let's win out. So, folks to watch on Orlando. I said it earlier, I will never not talk about Marta for a million reasons. If you didn't catch on during the World Cup or in our retirement episode, all of that. For a lot more information on Marta, definitely check out our retirement retrospective. There's just so much badassery in that episode. I cried this weekend for JJ and for Pino's last U.S. national team game. There's lots of tears. It's very funny, though. But Marta, for those who don't know or didn't listen to those other episodes, she is a 6-time NWSL Team of the Month member, a 4-time Goal of the Week honoree. And on an international level, she is a 6-time FIFA Player of the Year winner. Marta can do anything she wants to, and I don't think anybody's going to stop her. Like,
She's
she
just
probably eats
all around
free.
badass.
Yeah, like, she eats free in all of Brazil and Orlando and Sweden. Like, anywhere she's played, they're like, oh, here you go, red carpet for you.
Yeah.
Velvet rope. Like, as
we,
it should be.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the retirement retro, she's your favorite player's favorite player, which means, which says a lot about who she is and why she's so important and to the game, but why she's also going to be so important to this particular matchup.
This particular game. Yeah, definitely. She's a force to be reckoned with. This season, she's on, like, kind of on a revenge tour, the way Sarah Gordon is coming back from an ACL injury. But like, March is just dope. She's just cool. She does everything she can to grow the game. And she's just also like one of the best players in women's soccer history in general. She's just royalty in my eyes. All right. Next on the list is Allie Watt. She is another forward for Orlando. We're being very offensive with these Orlando players.
Offensive, not
offensive. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know. Who knows? A little Freudian slip. I don't know. But she recently, like their last game, she just scored the fastest goal in club history versus North Carolina. She is having a hell of a season, so definitely someone to watch out for. Last person I want to talk about who's currently on the team is Messiah Bright. She is a rookie this season, but she is in the race for the Golden Boot, which is the player who scores the most goals across the season. She's having a freaking great season as a rookie. Like I have mentioned before, Orlando kind of had a fire sale over the last couple years. There are a ton of Orlando players on Angel City in Allie Riley, Danny Weatherholt, and Sid, but like that whole team just kind of got imploded and just scattered everywhere across the NWSL for some of the reasons we know, some were unknown, but what have you. Messiah Bright is a very special player. She actually got swept up by Orlando in the draft super late. Like for some reason she dropped super low, so they kind of got her on a steal, but she's paying off for them tenfold. But those are the players I wanted to talk about. I also really wanted to talk about Erin McLeod, but she just moved to Iceland with Gunny, her wife, who also used to play in the NWSL at the end of last year or earlier this year. So I hope they're having a great time in Iceland with all of their like rights and northern lights and like cool stuff.
So with Aaron, or here's another off-season idea of pulling in those players that we wanted to see that might have left, and then being like, these are how badass they were or they are.
Right.
Go check them out in their other leagues if they're playing.
We should totally do a spotlight other leagues. That'd be cool. Because I mean, women's soccer doesn't stop.
Yeah, and there's plenty of players that are crazy important to us here in the NWSL, and as I'm learning about each one of them, but also players that are in the WSL in England, or the Spanish league, or for the France, or wherever they end up playing, and just how amazing they are in their own right. I mean, you saw all of those players on display during that World Cup. So I think that would be a great episode. So you went full forward this time. So all these players, when they're on the field, they're going to be easy to spot because they're the ones going to be trying to pepper the goal. And whoever we've got, whether it be Edie or Anderson.
Yeah, Angelina.
Yes, because I don't know what happened with.
I don't know what's going on with Eisenhower, our second, third goaldie. There's three of them.
Technically second on the list, but yeah.
I don't know what's been shaken up there. Who knows? But yeah, whoever is in the goal will have a challenge.
We'll have these three to challenge with. So we've got Marta with, again, single name. That's all you need to know. Number 10. Then we got Ali Watt as number 11. And then Messiah Bright, number 23. All three of them forwards.
Yep. So we joked the last recap episode that I had no idea what players I had talked about, which ones I hadn't. I found out that I hadn't spoken about one very important person because
it's kind of a shock too.
Yeah, like I thought I had, but then I realized it was because of the World Cup, because we started this podcast and then immediately the World Cup started. So our captain, my captain, Allie Riley. I have not talked about her as like Angel City. I don't know.
We talked about her with a little bit on Angel City, but a little bit more with her New Zealand captain duties.
Exactly.
And what we were about to see going into the World Cup. And then, of course, going on with that amazing win and, the emotions that she had.
Me crying everywhere, Allie Riley crying everywhere. I talked about her a lot during the beginning of the World Cup. But, Cap, I'm sorry, I haven't talked about you on this podcast. It was a mistake. It will never happen again. But yeah, Allie Riley is basically everyone's best friend, like including fans. Fans coaches, ownerships, players, everybody. Like, she just is so cool. And like, to have a nickname be Smiley Riley and live up to that in every sense of the word is just, she's just the best. Like, she just seems so lovely. Earlier in this season, our friend Doug, I say our because he's a friend of the podcast and he's my friend and Eva's friend. So just collectively our friend.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. So hi, Doug.
He's my friend too.
But it was it was his birthday earlier in the season, and his wife Alyssa arranged for him to take 2 people down on the pitch with him after the game, kind of hang out, schmooze a little bit. It was very fun. Eva and I got fake tattoos. I had Happy B-Day Doug on my hands. She had Doug above her above her eyebrow on her forehead. Like, we went all in for Doug's birthday, and Doug was like, "You have a face tattoo? You're absolutely coming with me." So she went down with him. And when they were down there, like, we're all like, Alyssa and I are just like, this is so cute. Like, it was just fun. But they got to talk to Allie, and Eva told Allie that she's one of my favorite players. And she was like, "Where is she?" And like, blew me kisses, and then was like, "Wait, I'm not interrupting anything. I'm not causing a problem in this relationship." It was like joking, like they were best friends. So it's like every interaction you can imagine with Allie Riley is just fantastic. She's an LA native. She went to Harvard Westlake, which is like the high school in Los Angeles if you want to be a professional athlete at this point. It's private school up in the valley. I remember in high school, my high school played, I don't even know, I think it was football against Harvard Westlake and just got demolished. It was embarrassing. It was just like, oh, and like we knew going into this is going to be so ugly. Like, I don't know if it was basketball or football, but it was ugly regardless. Harvard Westlake is a machine when it comes to pumping out athletes. Like, just absolute machine. But Cap had her very first NWSL goals last season. She had 2 of them. So she has 3 goals. I think she needs to score another one because she's got to have as many as she did last season, just for reason.
I mean, she got the goal the last game, so
I know
there's a little VAR controversy there, but like she got it, so
she got it. And for as many goals as VAR has taken from us, we got one back.
Yes, yeah,
we got one back, and that's really all that matters.
Not very much that VAR actually goes in our direction, but we got it.
No, yeah, and after that first goal that she scored, I think she just like jumped into outer space. She was so high in the air. She's just so joyful in the way she plays. She is a staunch defender and so good at what she does. But I couldn't go an episode without talking about defense. I am who I am. 2, it is so embarrassing that I didn't talk about her to this extent. But that's Cap.
She was also one of the early like tifos for this year too. Like, she was like the supporters painted Allie in her like full on like screaming celebration with her arms in the air, and yeah, that was great to see her to go up, because a lot of, whenever those things are done by the supporters, they're always done in secret because they want it to be a surprise to the fans, want it to be a surprise to the team. So, the team doesn't have any involvement. The front office doesn't have any involvement with it. And then it goes up. And then, that gave Angel City so much social media content on getting everybody's reaction, because they didn't see it until they came out on the pitch. So.
Mm-hmm. And then they saw it and it was like, oh my God. That TIFO was so dope. So dope. So good job, supporter group. I like the surprise because I can never go. Like, being part of the supporter groups, I can never go to the things.
Yeah,
like
they just don't work out. They just don't work out time-wise.
Yeah, on a Tuesday night in Alhambra, and I live by LAX, and that's not going to happen. Like, or something random. But regardless, every supporter group puts in such hard work, and when it comes to TIFOs, and it's just so dope, and I love it, and it's very, very cool. Alrighty. So the other person I haven't talked about, there's also more, but these 2 I was confused. But from
It
Harvard Westlake.
both
Like,
of these were like, well, actually everybody on this list. So what,
I know.
I did what I said I was going to do. And I went
Yeah.
back through our scripts, when I had some time, but honestly didn't really have time. Went back through our scripts and loaded all of the names on our kind of, episode chart database thing, and then tagged everyone on what game we talked about them. And there was a handful of players that we haven't talked about. Honestly, we haven't had that many episodes, mainly because we started halfway through the season, but still there was a lot of surprises on that list where we were like, wait, no, didn't we talk about them for like a full episode?
Yeah,
And
there's people that I could have sworn that I talked about, and I'm like, oh, oops,
and
my
we did,
bad.
and technically we did, but we also talked about them in a different context. We talked about them
Yes.
in the World Cup context.
Exactly.
We've never talked about them in this kind of home stakes type game. So yeah, this is another one on that list that we will definitely get through.
Yeah. So, like I said, Harvard Westlake pumping out professional athletes left, right, and center. The second person I'm talking about is Alyssa Thompson, who had just graduated from Harvard Westlake. So her and Allie Riley have a lovely connection through that. Alyssa has missed prom, missed most of her senior year, her senior season, graduation, all of that to be a professional soccer player, which is like the dream
I
for
mean,
anyone who's dedicated this much time to it. Like, if I had been in her shoes, I would have been so pumped.
yeah,
Like every dream. Yeah,
mean,
check those boxes.
just even for the flex to be like, oh, what did you do for your senior year? Oh, I went to the World Cup. Oh, you went to the World Cup? That was cool. How did you like it? Oh no, I played in the World Cup.
I played. Yeah. Like, oh no. I didn't. I like my ticket was paid. Like I didn't have to buy my tickets. No. So Alyssa is the sweet baby child of this team. Are like barely an adult, small human from the Valley who will run through just about any defense with absolutely no fear. She is an incredibly impressive player to watch because she just goes. She doesn't have that, like, I don't want to say fear because it's not that, but the trepidation that comes with age, with injury, with experience. It's still so fresh for her that she just goes, and it's to the point where, like, you can tell that she's been playing with players who weren't at the same level as her. They would have been close, but not folks who could push her to that next level. And now she's at that level. And it's cool because there's like defenders are seeing strategies from her that they're not used to seeing. And she's seeing, like, you see the battle on offense and defense when she comes in. The first goal she scored, I think she ran through 5 different defenders. Like, stupid. We all joked in our like friend group that she is so good because she still has cartilage in her knee. Like, she's part of the cartilage crew of Angel City. Like, she's young. She still has, like, good joints, very few aches and pains.
I think
Angel City.
that was actually a joke from Angel City too.
Yeah.
On there, like I remember seeing on their social media where like they're like, all right, everyone, it's time to get out, like it's time to train, and then she's like the first one out the door, like juggling the ball, and everybody's like, and they start taping
Everybody
themselves
else
up,
is doing like all doing their activations and like trying to get ready and get their muscles warmed up, and she's like, okay, bye, and just like running through the screen. I watched that video. It's hysterical. But I'm really, really curious because she's coming off like Gatorade Player of the Year as a high school player, like all of these accolades, which have rightfully been earned. Like, her sister is also training with the team. Like, this is very much a gifted family when it comes to sports. I'm very curious to see how she is going to impact this final push of these last 3 games. Because I think her experience on the pitch at the World Cup kind of like threw her off a little bit. And even with other call-ups that she's had, because it wasn't consistent like it had been at Angel City, and it was, how do I say, not conducive to her style of play, scoring. She entered the national team in a very tumultuous time.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very. Yes, tumultuous is a good word. I just looked it up, and yes, she did. Well, she did get minutes during the World Cup. I know that was one of the talking points, at least from our side here in LA, right? Which was
Yeah.
why the hell didn't she get to play more? Like, you took her there for and you nothing, right? But there's a lot more questions that came out of that than just why wasn't Alyssa playing.
Yeah, it was like a laundry list of why wasn't enter name here playing.
Yeah, but then it does say that like the next two friendly matches that happened recently, she actually got the start in both of them and played a total of like 150 something minutes.
Yeah.
So, having I think when you get her and actually use her in the way it, she's built for, and the craziness
Right.
and the attacking speed and the dribble and the everything she's able to do, like, that's really what you should be using her for. And glad that we have her on our team. I mean, I know it was like it was a
Right.
big huge like a huge thing when like it happened during the draft where like we got like it's like, oh, first pick, okay, Alyssa. Like, there was no like drama
like
about it. It was
there's
just like Alyssa.
no Alyssa Thompson. Just that like okay, Angel City, Alyssa Thompson. Just boom.
Yeah.
Everybody knew we traded for that first pick. I'm so glad we did. But yeah, and I'm so glad she chose to stay with the team. And as she said, you can always go to college and she can take classes online. Like, this is not a chance you get forever. So good for her. But yeah, so player numbers, Allie Riley. I'm doing this one. I'm stealing this one from you. She is number 5 on her jersey, number 1 in our hearts. Defensive queen, Allie Riley. There you go. I just had to say it. I wrote it.
You wrote it. You had to say it. Yes. And then
Yeah, I was thinking about this all day.
and then along with the other forwards that we have, Alyssa Thompson's going to be breaking ankles on that back line from Orlando. She's a forward, number 21. She's the baby of the team. Like, she's the youngest one that's like just running out there, and you're like, wait, did someone just run onto the field? No, it's Alyssa Thompson. As soon as she like nutmegs someone or breaks an ankle, you're just like, oh wait, yeah, Alyssa Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember real quick who she is and where she's from. Definitely. So, history between these two teams across all matchups, we're 1-1-1. So, I mean, I know where I want that next number to land.
Yeah.
I want us to win. We won earlier this season when we played in Orlando. So why not do it again?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, we need to be undeTWEEDed in this last run. So, give us another notch on that win column, and we are good to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited for this game. I think everybody kind of is, because of the fact that it got pushed back a week and a half. Like, there was controversy around why, if it should have been moved or not, but I think it was actually a really good decision. But yeah, I'm really bummed that we're in like the final stretch of the season, but I don't think we're done after the 15th. I think we've got some playoffs in us. So
yeah, I think we do too. And honestly, this is gonna give us our best chance and our best foot forward to make that run. We've been talking from the like essentially middle of the season, from the like international break for the World Cup, that it's that far back. It's been a race to the playoff chaos. Like, it's just gonna be crazy. So,
and we're in it. Like,
and we are in
the chaos. We are the chaos machines, actually, when it comes to this playoff run. Like, we're the ones who could spoil it for people. We're the ones who can make it. And I really think we're going to. Genuinely.
Okay, so the matchup is going to be Angel City versus Orlando Pride at home, BMO Stadium, on Monday, October 2nd. Just remember that. It's a Monday at 7 p.m. So if you're going to the match, Monday traffic, you're going to get people hating the fact that they have to go back to work on Monday. You're going to have, your school is going to be, you're right next to USC, so you're going to have all that school traffic. just make sure you get there as early as you can. Kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. Remember that this match, it was postponed from the 21st, but it's still the night, which is Latin American Hispanic heritage. You know, the Latinos, you know, we're chronically late as like a trope, and so
As like a culture.
as a culture, and so like, and that just means we just take life easy, but that also means that our month of celebration or observance or like learn about us, that if you're not us, happens halfway through a month to the other half of the month. It's not one full month like evenly. It's
It's
halfway
not a
through.
calendar month.
Yeah, it's halfway through September into half of October. So we're still within that window, which is great.
We're halfway through.
Yep. There's going to be a street fair, I believe, which means if that does happen, there's going to be food trucks out on Christmas Tree Lane, not big old full-fledged tailgate fan fest that they usually do, but this is like the pared down version,
Which is still a party.
which is still
Like,
a party. Yeah.
We say it's, toned down, but it's not.
Yeah, people are still there. And as another note, if you haven't been or if you're not familiar, the field is open now. So the food hall that is right next to where the
beer garden is.
the beer garden is and the team store is now open. There are 3 Tacos Way,
burger
the
place?
pizza place, and a burger place.
Yeah. So
There's
Triple Bean
food.
Pizza. Who's
Triple Bean
in
Pizza.
there,
There we go.
yes, is fantastic. I'm trying to lead a campaign to get the powers that be at LAFC to make sure that they have their gluten-free pizza because they do a really good job with cross-contamination for those who have allergies. And it's not a cardboard crust. It is so good. It's a Roman, so their pizza is Roman style and it's delicious. If you haven't been to Triple Bean, there's one in Highland Park and one in Echo Park. Go there. They're good people. It's good pizza.
Yeah,
I don't know about the other places, but they're probably great too.
Tacos Way is actually pretty solid, and we go to the Tacos Way that's here up in Reseda, and it's real good. Yeah. And then I know there's a third partner in there that's just not ringing a bell at the moment, but there is
I
food.
want to say it's a burger place, and there's a really famous chef connected to it, and I can't think of who it is. I want to say it's Susan Feniger, but I don't think that's her. She's she makes Mexican food. But her food is dope. Her food is so good.
All in all, there will be some food trucks. There will be some porta potties out there. There will be some beer flowing. There will be the food hall will be open, so you'll have a nice place to sit inside. Again, all of this happens just before the game. The game's going to be at 7 p.m., which is the kickoff. Gates open 90 minutes before, so you can get into the stadium at 5:30. And with that, they are giving away a specially themed designed picture frame. It's kind of a small one. It's more for like those kind of Polaroid pictures, I think. I mean, I haven't seen it myself. They kind of flashed it.
Yeah, I think it's like a 4x6.
Yeah, they like flashed it onto
Smaller.
on the screen like the last match. Like they were holding it out down on the field. But I mean, giant jumbotron. I can't really tell scale. But there you go. Giveaway. Get there early if you want one. They usually kind of disappear halfway through because they ordered what they ordered. There's also some really great merch for this night. Was designed by a Salvadoran female artist. They are amazing. The scarves sold out online, and then they replenished them, and they sold out again. So
They sold out like immediately because I got the notification because I forgot to order it. And I was like, oh, I got to go order it. And they were already gone. And I was like, oh, I guess I have to get there so early and try and get the like 5 that they're going to have in the store.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping they have some in the store. And if they do, I am charging you with getting me one because I won't be there.
Yeah, I got you. I know. I'm going to go directly after work. I'm off early that day. I'm going to go immediately after work to the game and stand at that door until they let me in and be like, give me a scarf. Yeah, I'll get you one.
Yes. So unfortunately, for such a big game, I will not be there. And one of the reasons why is just, family stuff. Can't make the midweek games are way harder. But we also ran our first successful Instagram contest, which was really fun. Thank you for everyone that entered. We did get a winner who won my tickets, essentially. So they will be sitting in my seats enjoying this matchup of all matchups for the season. And hopefully Anthony, his name is Anthony, he was the winner. Hopefully you have a blast there, and thank you for supporting the pod. Everybody else who joined, thank you for supporting the pod. I know a lot of people that were supporting us were entering it because they were tagging other people to spread the word, and they don't necessarily need the tickets, but it meant a lot just to have the engagement that we did. So thank you so much for everyone for the support. Even if you didn't win, we've got new stickers. Check out our Instagram. We're free to give them to whoever wants one. So please hit us up and let us know. If you can't make the game, like myself, here's the broadcast schedule. It will be the national game on CBS Sports. Jesus. You're just talking.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to laugh at your pain.
Okay, so national game on CBS Sports. That means if you're at a bar, they will definitely be able to show the game. They're not going to have any weird streaming issues because it's on some streaming app. It'll be on their sports package, so that's fine. It'll also be playing on nwslsoccer.com, which is if you're international. So if you are located somewhere outside of the US, you will be able to watch it there. Or if you can make it look like you are somewhere outside of the US, you can watch it. You can watch it there. I know a couple of people that have to do that workaround. If you are on the road,
I won't tell you how, but I will tell you there are ways.
There are ways. Search VPN and Google it, and good luck. iHeartRadio, if you are not going to be able to watch it and can listen, download the iHeartRadio app. There's a ACFC channel on there. If you just click onto it right now, you're going to get like some random game replay, or it's probably this last game. It's just going to be on a loop. So you'll hear it all the time. But come game time, you will get our local announcers, our local radio announcers. They'll have all the insight. They're not going to be this even-keeled national broadcast.
They are Angel City all the way. You'll get pregame, postgame, halftime. Like, you get so much information out of them, and they're great. Absolutely great.
And then we have KW will be the Spanish radio broadcast. It's not always broadcast on Spanish radio, but this one, granted, it is the Latin American Heritage Night. It's going to be on Spanish radio, so it will be on KW.
Alrighty.
If you made it this far.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you so much. If you've liked us this far, if you listened this far, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that podcasts exist. You can check out casualfc.com for all the links to us on the internet. You can follow us on just about every social media platform that starts with a T, and also Instagram. So Twitter, Threads, and TikTok. Like we said in the last episode, you will pry that bird out of my cold dead hands. I will not call it anything but Twitter. But at Casual FC Pod is where you can find us. You can also follow each of us individually. Our bio at the Casual FC Pod has both of our Instagrams. If you've listened this far and you like what you hear, please feel free to tell a friend. We've been harping on the fact that we think this brings good luck because as long as we've been talking about it, we've been winning or undefeated. So keep telling people about it.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. undeTWEEDed. My bad. You need to trademark it. Like, that's yours. You are the person who came up with this. But please keep telling people about it. We just want to spread the word about women's soccer, but specifically Angel City. And then if you feel so inclined, feel free to support the pod by buying us a coffee. You can check out our link in all of our social media bios, or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. And you can also buy merch at shop.casualfc.com. And we're adding things by the minute, it feels like. So you never know. But
anytime we have a fun, dumb idea.
Yeah. Mario makes a shirt, and I don't hate it.
I mean, as we were talking, I'm showing Angela on, like, we record this online so we can see each other, but there's no video component to this. But I did sketch out I feel the
Yes.
need for tweed. So
Yep.
that might be a shirt coming soon.
It might be a shirt, and if it is, Richie, don't worry, I will buy one for you. Like, I will gift you this shirt. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you laughed a lot along with us. That was hard to say, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great time at the game. I'll be in 227 if you want to come find me and say hi. Or if you just don't want to, that's fine too. But it's a lot of fun.
I will be watching from home, cheering on with every might I can. And Anthony, hope you enjoy the game. Go ahead, everyone. Bye.
Bye.